Hey guys, it's Kate, and today I'm doing a video that I've been putting off for such a long time, and that is my first Ouija board experience. And I've never done a story time before, so this is going to be a bit different for me. So the reason I've been putting this off for so long is because I know it's kind of, I don't want to say a controversial topic, but I know that some people don't believe in this stuff, which if that's the case, like, feel free not to watch this video. I used to not believe in it too, so I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit nervous to talk about it, but also I love watching other people's videos like this. Yeah, let's just get right into this. So I wasn't actually that interested in playing with a Ouija board because you can buy them at Toys R Us, first of all, but my friend actually had one just like laying around their house because people have them for fun, you know. She just happened to have one, and we were kind of just like, maybe we should try it just for fun. Another friend joined with us, so we decided that we would all try it together. We were super skeptical about it. I didn't think it was gonna work, but at the same time I was also really scared because I was like, if this works, it's gonna be like a horror movie, and that is not okay. So I was really scared. I was Googling like how to do it safely, and I was just super nervous about it because it's just a nerve-wracking experience whether you believe in it or not. You don't know if your friends are gonna try to trick you or, like, you know, all that stuff. So we decided that whether we believed in it or not, we were going to do it safely. We were going to, you know, look up the right way to do it. A lot of websites told us to light candles, specifically white candles, but candles in general are like a good safe way to do it. So we got all our Bath & Body Works candles out. Got some like sea salt for bathing. Salt is like another thing, so we like put out some salt. It was an ordeal. It was getting scarier as we were setting it up because we were like, this feels really like not right. This feels like we're doing something wrong. We were all pretty nervous about it, just in case, you know? So we got it all set up. We turned off all the lights. We only had candlelight. I found out after the fact that we had been using the planchette wrong, but that's a whole other thing. I don't even know if that means anything or if that like makes a difference or not, but we were holding it like upside down. So we started out by saying a prayer, which is another thing that it said on the internet that you should do. So I was the leader, and I've never been one for horror movies or like scary things. I've never ever been into scary things. It's just been something I've avoided my whole life. I was the only one that was willing to be the leader, so I was shaking at this point because when you have candles lit all around you and you're saying a prayer, it just feels a little sketchy, you know? I had my laptop in a little circle with us, and I said the prayer that was on the website. We all put our hands on the planchette. I think I said like that everything's safe here, we're not looking to harm anybody and blah blah blah. Just did a little like intro, I guess. And nothing happened. We were just, you know, sitting there, and we just looked at each other like, okay, so we just did all this for nothing. And then I was like, well, let me just try again. So then I was like, I promise you we're not here to harm anyone. We just want to talk to you. If you're here, please let us know. I said, is anyone here? And all of a sudden, it started to pull. And when I say pull, I mean like, it wasn't a push, it was a pull. Like, it felt like a gravitational or a magnetic pull. We were all looking at each other like, are you doing this? Like, you swear that you're not doing this? Like, and we were all just like wide-eyed, shocked, not knowing really what to do. It was actually sliding towards the yes, and we're like, oh my god. Like, what is happening here? I made sure that I was paying close attention to their hands the whole time because I was like, I need to make sure they're not cheating this, trying to like make this a big joke. They were, like, my two friends were barely touching the planchette. If anything, I was touching it more than they were, and I know that I wasn't moving it, obviously. Why would I do that if I want to know if this actually worked? After that, we started asking, what's your name? Are you, you know, male, female? How old are you? It started describing one of my friend's family members. At this point, it started spelling out her name. I started crying. And it's not my family member, but I know, you know, the story of this family member and how much this person meant to my friend. Got really emotional. And I didn't know, like, if this was really going to upset my friend. And I didn't know, you know, if this really was who it was saying it was. She honestly, like, my friend didn't even notice that it was spelling out that name because she was looking at me crying and she was like, what? And when I was like, you know, like, look what it's spelling. And she started crying. And my other friend, who doesn't really, like, she'd only just met this friend, so she didn't know her story or, like, her family member or anything. So I know that it couldn't have been her because she didn't know this girl. Like, she didn't know her story or her family. So we told her. And then all of a sudden we're all just sitting there, like, bawling our eyes out. It was so emotional. While it was happening, I was like, okay, this is working, but at the same time it's like, do I believe it or do I not? It's clearly happening. Like, it's clearly moving, and it's moving away from us. We have to basically, it's almost like you're following the planchette. It's not like, you're not pushing it, you're like following where it's pulling. We ended up asking it a lot of questions, and we noticed that it was having a really hard time answering complicated questions, so the only questions it was really getting was yes or no questions. Okay, we're just gonna ask yes or no questions from now on. And every single time that we asked it a question that was not a yes or no question, it started spelling M-A over and over again. We didn't know if it was initials for somebody. We were trying to figure out if there was, like, initials of somebody that we knew, or if it was like M-A or A-M. We were trying to figure that out. It just kept going faster. It was like M-A, 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 like, and then we were like, is it mama? Like a mom? We were kind of getting scared because, like, it was moving really fast. What is happening? And none of us had, like, used one before, and if, like, well, actually I think my two other friends had tried one before, but it didn't work. It was with other people. We were getting super freaked out. We were like, okay, stop. Like, you're scaring us, please stop, like, going that fast. So it stopped. We asked for an age because I wanted to see if it really was this family member that it was claiming to be. It got the age wrong. So there's, like, my first clue that it was not the family member that we were thinking it was. Anyways, we asked questions for probably an hour and a half because by the time you are, like, 10 minutes in, it's no longer scary. You're just kind of, like, asking questions and getting answers. We were all just so intrigued that it didn't get boring. We were just kind of, like, asking a bunch of random questions, and about an hour and a half in, the planchette stopped moving. Like, it completely stopped. And we're like, okay, I guess it's gone. Like, we're supposed to say goodbye, but whatever. And it starts spelling out a name. Like, it just started moving again, but it was moving, like, in a different way. It was almost just, like, a different vibe, if that's the right word. And it started spelling out K-A-L-E-M, Calum. And then it stopped, and then it went M-A-L-E, Calum male. At this point, my head was, like, still thinking about what was going on before, so I was like, oh, I wonder what this has to do with it. But my two other friends were, like, shaking their heads. The friend on my right, her eyes were wide open. And my friend on the left, the one who had lost a family member, she was, like, shaking her head. She was just like, no, you need to shut the board down right now. Like, this feels different. I don't like it. I didn't really know what was going on, but I was like, okay. I, like, said my prayer. I said goodbye. It moved to goodbye without us, you know, pushing it there or pulling it there. And after that, we just kind of sat there and didn't really know what to do. My friend that told me to shut it down, she was really scared. She actually said that she felt a feeling went through her entire body, and that's why she told me to shut it down. I personally didn't feel that, and neither did the other girl, but we were like, okay, what just happened? We went on to our laptops, we looked up M-A-M-A, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Zozo. Apparently it's this, like, negative spirit that tries to get through boards, or, like, spirits can pretend to be Zozo to, like, scare you or whatever. But apparently Zozo also goes as mama sometimes. So we were like, oh my goodness. We don't think it was really the family member. We went to see a medium to ask her some questions because we were still a little bit puzzled, and she said that oftentimes you can't really reach a family member through a board because it's just not likely that they're gonna be lingering around wanting to like play games like that. It's usually for like the unfinished business and stuff like that. She just said, yeah, like it definitely, like, you should never use a board again. Throw it out. Don't burn it. Don't bury it. Don't give it enough attention because spirits are energy and spirits want energy. So when they get your energy, you're basically feeding into them. At least that's how it was explained to me. So we just threw it out. Let me tell you right now, there was a lot of creepy stuff going around. The next morning, oh my gosh, this like gives me the chills every single time. From the day after to like a week or two after that, there was just creepy stuff going around my apartment and my friend's apartment. The memorial picture of my friend's family member it was on a top shelf, okay? And she woke up the next morning, it fell off. It had been like flipped upside down. And that picture had been there for months. It had been sitting there for months. And the day after we do this, it's flipped upside down. And I walked out into my living room and the 2 Bibles that we used had 2 pairs of scissors crossed like an X on top of the Bibles. I am still really freaked out by that. I consider myself to be open-minded about spirituality and religion. I don't have anything specific, like I'm not hardcore anything. Oh my goodness, that scared me so much. Things were falling off of our counters when we were in the other room. The Ouija board, I put it in this cabinet in the hall, and all my school books were on top of it, and then there was like the cubby where the board was, and this is before we threw it out. I was in the other room and I heard a bunch of crashing. I went out into the hall and all the books that were on top of the dresser, on top of the Ouija board, had fallen to the ground and like were sprawled everywhere. I don't know if I'm just being paranoid at this point or if something weird's happening. He didn't answer at first, so I tried calling my other friend, and while I was calling her, the phone hung up by itself. I can promise you, like, I did not think any of this was gonna work. I didn't think that this was even like a real thing. I just thought it was like a joke that people did so that friends could trick friends. Apparently that's not the case, in my experience. We actually got pretty wrapped up in the scare of it, and we would always talk to each other about it, talk about how scared we were. But over time, honestly, it's so easy to talk yourself out of believing it. I could easily talk myself out of believing it even now. There's some other reason why it was moving, but I know like when it was happening, I was 100% this is real, like this is happening. Well, if I was really so sure when it was happening, why would I doubt it now? I'm still like kind of freaked out, but also it was a super fun experience. I know I shouldn't do it ever again. I know it's bad and I wouldn't recommend it unless you are into that, but it was scary to say the least. But especially if it's against your beliefs, don't do it. And if you do it, please throw out the board after you're done. You don't want scary stuff happening. If you've ever had an experience, please tell me about it in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. If you don't believe in this stuff, again, I'm sorry, like, you can only believe it if you do. Like, it's not something that everyone believes in, and I know that. And I know there's no way I can convince you guys that my friends weren't moving it or that I wasn't moving it, but like, you had to be there. It's like one of those things where you have to be in the situation to actually know. So yeah, that is all for my first Ouija board experience. And I will see you guys in my next video. See ya!